Hello, everybody. This is a very special package that was sent to me by Metis Media, and we're going to unbox it. They are a Turkish RPG company that makes 5th edition compatible adventures and campaign worlds, but their campaign worlds are based off of real life areas in the Middle East around Turkey and this one specifically Israel slash Palestine. And we're gonna take a look today. This is some really cool stuff, so let's dive in. Hello everybody, Jordan here, the page is silent. If you have followed the channel for a while, then you know that I have covered Metis Media's The City on the Crescent, which was another big box set Kickstarter that they had. And that one was very cool and had my favorite two subclasses. So there was a Jinn sorcerer and a Jinn warlock that were intertwined. If the Jinn possessed your body, you played the sorcerer, and if you were somehow able to expel that Jinn and then control it, you were a warlock with that as a patron. And I thought that was super creative and interesting. They do have a Kickstarter going on right now, which I'm going to talk about here. This video is sponsored by Metis Media and their latest Kickstarter, Historica Arcanum Echoes of the Renaissance, a new campaign packed with fantastic illustrations and new 5e mechanics. The city this time is Venice, City of Masks. Eldritch corruption lies hidden amidst masterpieces of marble and paint, including 2 new sourcebooks with over 500 pages of content, the setting guide for Echoes of the Renaissance, and an adventure module. The deck of legendary inspirations where classes pick a card for boons to their character, an Art of War deck that adds new battle stances and weapons for interesting combinations, tactical maps, and 12 new subclasses inspired by the history and mythology of Renaissance Italy. The campaign is fully funded, and Metis Media have delivered on their past Kickstarters with great success. So check out Historica Arcanum today by clicking the link in the description, and thanks again, Metis Media. This box set is their Era of the Crusades. So this deals with Cairo and Jerusalem, and then it pushes in types of arcane magic and things like that into this like fictional world that we actually have. So let's dive into this box. First of all, it's a very sturdy, awesome box. It's pretty thick. It says Era of the Crusades on this side of it here, and a bunch of stuff on the other side. We're gonna take off this huge box. So it says, be without fear in the face of your enemies. Be brave and upright that God may love thee. Speak the truth even if it leads to your death. Safeguard the helpless and do nothing wrong. This is your oath. Rise as a knight. The City of the Crescent, or that one came with some cloth maps as well. And it looks like this one does too. So this is a cloth map of Cairo and has all the different spots on it here, a legend that you can go to. So really cool. And then this one is Jerusalem. So also fun. They also have a Historica Arcanum of the City of London, I believe, or Knights of London, something like that, that is out. And then they have a Norse one, if I remember correctly. So they've been working a lot. This is their latest big Kickstarter that they fulfilled, and they have another Kickstarter going on right now that we will talk about a little later in the video. Dungeon Master screen. And I'll try to get a big photo of this later on so you guys can see, because I don't think I'm going to do it justice with this here. But it looks like we have conditions, damage by level, some masculine and feminine names, light, encounter distance, some exhaustion rules, and food, drink, and lodging prices, which is kind of cool. And then the outside is kind of this just like, I don't know, blueprinty kind of style of the buildings that you would find in that area in that time period. So very cool. I'm assuming these are the books. So I'm going to put this to the side really quick. So yeah, here's Era of the Crusades. This is a slipcover case that comes with, poster of one of the NPCs, I believe, and then on the back is a map of Cairo. And this must be the same thing, an NPC, and then on the back is a map of Jerusalem. Yep. So same as the cloth map, just printed on paper. So then we have our 2 books. So Heir of the Crusades, this is like how to run a game in this kind of scenario, and a lot of information on the cities. There's also some various subclasses and stuff in here. And then Sigil of Jerusalem. This is the adventure. So there's an adventure that takes you from 1 to 8. And yeah, it's like, these are shiny. These books are really cool. I'm going to flip through just Heir of the Crusades here for a little bit. The World of Historica Arcanum, Magic in the History Arcanum, Welcome to the Holy Lands, and then there's character options, and then information on Jerusalem and Cairo, and then monsters at the very end. So if you're looking for an interesting setting, I think this is really cool. It says here that there is a Magic Untamed. So there are spell rebound effects. And I was reading this earlier that there are specific effects that kind of range by level, and you as a GM can come up with whatever you want to be the rebound cause. But the effect is like magic is breaking or usurping the natural world, and it wants to be put back to how it should be. So if you cast too many magic spells or the wrong type of magic or things like that, it can rebound and cause various effects on you. And so here are some of the effects. There's cosmetic, there's a destructive effect, there's a internal effect, and then permanent effects. So looking at some of these, the cosmetic effect, if we roll a d10, it's like rot. Vegetables and plants within 120 feet of the caster will wither and die, and that lasts 2d6 days. Or constant cold. The caster constantly feels cold and appears to be shivering. Some of the more permanent effects that can be very, very detrimental. One of these is eye for an eye. The caster loses one eye and it slowly rots away. No reflection. The caster casts no reflection in mirrors and other reflective surfaces. Character options. So chapter 2, character options. I won't go into super detail of here, but we have the Bard, College of the Doomsayer. And unlike City of the Crescent or the Silk Road, previous one that I've covered, this one actually has a subclass for every character class, which is really cool. The other one, only a few classes, I believe. So the Barbarian, Path of the Overworldly Might. The Cleric is the Flagellant Domain. So Repenting Sins, Faith is my shield. The Druid is Circle of the Sun. The Fighter is the Mamluk, which is like the art of war. You're a veteran. The Monk is the Way of the Pilgrim. Paladin is Oath of the Crusade. And this adventure does take place during the Crusades or immediately after. So it's called Heir of the Crusades. Of course it is. But yeah, there is a lot of like Roman Catholic influence coming into Jerusalem. And yeah, it's interesting. Ranger is the Sentry. And these are subclasses for 2014 Dungeons & Dragons, but you can make them work with your updated version if you want. Or just play 2014. Sorry, I skipped the Rogue. Rogue is the Veil Warden. So kind of power of mystery. It looks like you have secrets. Kind of more like a psychic-y kind of thing. The Sorcerer is the Soul of Matt. Might have to like blur that out. There's some nudity here. But you are Aspect of the Sun. It looks like a very Egyptian themed one. Warlock is the Weaver Patron. Okay, very cool. So you're twisting fate and doing things like that. And then the Wizard is the School of Invention. It looks like you're making automatons and arcane contraptions. So kind of an artificer vibe with this one, which is pretty cool though. Another interesting aspect is they have these profession options, and this was also in the Empires of the Silk Road and City of the Crescent. And with profession options, you have a profession that you then can get more levels in. It's kind of like a second class that you have. And professions would be like alchemist, Beast Tamer, Burglar, Grave Robber, it says here, Merchant. Some of the new ones are Blacksmith. And with Blacksmith specifically in this book, you can craft new and interesting armor. So there's some crafting rules. Another one is an Interrogator. And so the more you interrogate, you can get levels of the XP in it, which is called like PEX. And then you can gain ranks and become an Apprentice Interrogator or a Journeyman Interrogator. And those come with different benefits. Not that they are unoriginal, because this is one of the most original campaign settings that I've seen in a long time, but it's similar to Acquisitions Incorporated, where you had like, I was a wizard, but I also had my role in the Ac Inc. franchise, and that came with certain benefits. And that role would go up as, you know, I got better with that role. And it didn't really necessarily like overlap with my main one. So Herbalist, really cool here. And yeah, so those are some of the new ones. And then this is really cool, the character builder. So you're going to make a character that fits into this world. You're not just making like a Dragonborn Paladin and saying, I want to play in this game. So with that, you have a birthplace, who raised you, what happened to you. There's all these different charts to roll on. And then the book was very clear that you need to have a reason to go or be in Jerusalem in order to make the Sigil of Jerusalem, the adventure, work. And I like that. And so it helps you with that, with these life event tables and things like that. Like, how did you get here and why are you here and what is important to you? And then here are a whole bunch of new spells. Some of them are pretty fun. And they all have great names too. Like Legion's Lightning Charge, or Godfrey's Word of Resilience, or the Smuggler's Arcane Subterfuge. And so before we jump away, the second book, I actually wanted to highlight that because of the campaign, you have these NPCs, and these are major NPCs in here. And it gives you an introduction, the character's past, kind of like tips on how to role play them and what are their motives and stuff. So they're going to be active participants. So you as the game master have lots and lots of resources here. And in the case of this NPC, they actually have a magic item that is a legendary magic item that the players can pick up. Like, he's actively wielding this, and I guess the players can make their choice about that. Bunch of information, interests, role-playing as this person, combat tactics. It's just really cool that you have this much information rather than just like a block of text. Continuing on, though, we have more in the box. So we've got 3 boxes. Let's pull them out. 1, 2, 3. So Deck of the Dam is a gameplay edition simulating combat and narrative stress for the world's greatest role-playing game. So you could use this in your other game too. So it's a couple deck of cards. They're like tarot-y sized cards. And we have Deck of the Damned 1 and 2. I don't know much about this yet because I haven't read through it. Okay, so there's some flavor text, and then there's a thing that says, so I guess you would pull this at the appropriate time. But this says, the character that has been affected by or cast the strongest spell in 12 hours gets to resolve this card. And then you say, you must succeed on a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw. And on a failed save, a creature you targeted by a spell that is within 40 feet must succeed on a Constitution saving throw, or the spell targets you if you are within reach. So the spell kind of rebounds. On a successful one, your next Wisdom saving throw is made with an advantage. So yeah, it seems kind of cool. I'll have to like read up more on this, but they're nice cardstock. Up next we have miniatures. So here are some hero miniatures. The other Arcanum came with miniatures as well. So we'll pull out some of this packaging. Oh, and it looks like it's just the 2 miniatures. So just the 2 miniatures. I'll get some higher up res of these. This one looks like a tentacle-faced monster. These look resin printed, and this is like some kind of scorpion monster thing. So, and then the last box here is the Crystal Shard dice set. So their last one had some crystal dice in it too. And it was very pretty. So yeah, that's it. That's just packaging. So we'll throw that over here. And I'll do some nice higher quality ones. So the crystal dice, these are cool. So this is 1 to 8. So that's your D8. This looks like your D10. That's your other percentile dice there. D12. And your D6 and your D4. And yeah, there's just like a drop of blood kind of thing. And so this would be your D20. That's a 17 I rolled. And another 17. And an 11. So yeah, if you like unique dice, and I would use these like for, I mean, I just like to think like that, but I would use these for interesting rolls that we really have to talk about. So it's like, oh yeah, this is happening. I need you to roll, this D12 to see what's going to go on. And oh, you got a 9. So, very fun stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're interested in more about the Historica Arcanum, I'll put a bunch of links down below, obviously, to this and to their Kickstarter. But also, if you're like, hey, Jordan, I want to explore this world some more, and you want a little bit of like lore and stuff as I read through and dive into these books, let me know. I like highlighting very unique and interesting campaign settings, and I think Historica Arcanum has knocked it out of the park with their quality, the love that they've put into this, and just the unique feel of it. It's using 5e mechanics, but in very different and interesting ways. So props to Historica Arcanum. Thank you again for sending me all this really cool stuff. Thank you for watching, for being awesome, becoming a YouTube member, subscribing on Patreon, and all that other stuff. Love to have you guys here. And I will see you guys all in the next video.